Dear students, this beautiful video makes us realize that the earth is beautiful not only because of human being, but the combination of different animals and birds, macro and micro, have made it beautiful and most attractive and fascinating. So, we should realize our duty to save all these wildlife and animals in order to save ourselves and our environment. Welcome to Hargar Pathshala. This is Surender Pundir, lecturer in English, Common Sense Secondary School, Naradha districts and more. Today we have a very important lesson which has been titled The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role. The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role, which has been written by Nani Palkhivala. Before we start the chapter, let's know something about Nani Palkhivala. Nani Palkhivala was born in 1920 in Bombay. His family name derives from the profession of his forefathers, a common practice among Parsis, who had been manufacturers of palanquins, palkis. Upon graduating, Palkhivala applied for a position as lecturer at Bombay University but was not awarded the post. He was an excellent lawyer at his time. He died on 11 December 2002 at the age of 82 years. In 2004, Indian Post released a postage in recognition of Palkhivala. This friends, Palkhivala, as the name is, it is a profession and professional name of Nani, one of the most eminent writer, who was born in 1920. It's a very common practice among Parsis that they used to give themselves surname from the profession what their fathers or forefather do. When he passed his graduation, he tried to apply for the post of professor in Bombay University. But students, he was a little bit stammerer. That's why he was not awarded the post. But he was such a talented person that in spite of all these hurdles, he ultimately became a very famous lawyer. And on 11 December 2002, he died. Indian Post realizes the significance of his work, and in 2004 they issued a stamp in his significance, in his honor. Now, before we start the chapter, let's know the introduction. The following article was written by Nani Palkhivala and published in the Indian Express on 24th November 1994. The issue that he raised regarding the declining health of the earth continue to have relevance. Dear students, of course, this article has been written in 1994, but even today, it has very significance. It is still the very same importance because the issues what he raised at that time regarding declining health of the earth and increasing pollution in the environment, they are still relevant even today. Okay, now the chapter begins over here. One cannot recall any moment in the world history which has gripped the imagination of the entire human race so completely and so rapidly as the green movement which started nearly 25 years ago. The history witnessed many movements on different issues by human civilization, but there is hardly any movement or campaign which might have taken attention of human being worldwide equal to green revolution. These students, that's why the green revolution has its own importance, own significance, and it is known worldwide as the biggest movement of human being. In 1972, the world first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand. Since then, the movement has not looked back. We have shifted one hopes irrevocably from the mechanistic view to a holistic and ecological view of the world. Irrevocably, impossible not to or to undo. Distance in New Zealand, 1972, an organization was organized, which was named the Green Revolution, Green Party, and in spite of 5 decades, till today, it has been working continuously to save the environment, and because of the sincere efforts of this organization, human beings have realized that the earth has its holistic and ecological view That's the significance of the Green Party, what was constituted in New Zealand. It is a shift in human perceptions as revolutionary as that introduced by Copernicus, who taught mankind in the 16th century that the Earth and the other planets revolved around the Sun. This shift in the attitude of human being is as important as it was the idea of Copernicus in 16th century when he declared a new concept that the earth along with other planets move around the sun. It was such a new concept that people hardly would have digested it at the time, and similarly it definitely would have become a little bit difficult for the human being to realize that the world is also a living organism. For the first time in human history, there is a growing worldwide consciousness that the earth itself is a living organism, an enormous being of which we are parts. It has its own metabolic needs and vital processes which need to be respected and preserved. This attitude shift of human being, but the people have realized the time it was first time that the people became concerned and conscious of the fact that the earth is a living organism and it has its biological needs which must be respected and the vital important and processes which must be regarded and preserved for the betterment of the human being. The earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. We have begun to realize our ethical obligations to be good stewards of the planet and responsible trustees of the legacy to future generation. It was very unfortunate that the painful also that the pollution had made the earth sick and the signs of the patient in declining health are very much visible on the earth. So, we should realize that it is our ethical duties to work for the safety of our Mother Earth before it is too late, being sincere steward and sincere sons and daughters of the earth. The concept of sustainable development was popularized in 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. In its report, it defined the idea as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their needs, without stepping the natural world of resources future generations would need. Dear students, sustainable development, a new concept which was generated by a world committee and commission. The idea in 1987 it was emerged first time by realizing that of course as development is important, it is also equally important to have a sustainable development so that we could preserve the earth and the natural resources for our coming generations or utilize it within limits. In the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia, there is a case where the notice reads, "The world's most dangerous animal." Inside the case, there is no animal but a mirror where you see yourself. Narrator gives an example of zoo in Lusaka, Zambia, where a signboard is placed on a case that the most dangerous animal live in it. But friends, there is no animal. There is only a mirror where while we peep into the case, we see our face and it indicates that the most dangerous animal of the world is we, the human being. It also makes us realize that now we need to change our attitude. Thanks to the efforts of a new number of agencies in different countries, a new awareness has now dawned upon the most dangerous animal in the world. He has realized the wisdom of shifting from a system based on domination to one based on partnership. Students, we should be thankful to the NGOs and other environment concerning agencies in different countries who are working continuously to aware human being about their duties towards nature and to realize that we are not only absolute owner of the resources of the earth, but all other living species which are in legs, they are also part of it and they also have equal rights on it. Scientists have catalogued about 1.4 million living species with which mankind shares the earth. Estimates vary widely as regards the still uncatalogued living species. Biologists reckon that about 3 to 100 million other living species still languish unnamed in ignominious darkness. By now, our scientists have categorized 1.4 million living species. But the number is numerous. Many millions are there still to be recognized, still to be explored. So, it also makes us realize that human being is one among those million living species on the earth and we should have the proportional use of the resources and this absoluteness must be ended by now. One of the early international commission which dealt inter alia with the question of ecology and environment was the Brand Commission, which had a distinguished Indian as one of its members, Mr. L.K. Jha. Many committees and commissions were constituted worldwide to assess the significance of ecology, and one of such commission, known as Brand Commission, having an eminent Indian scientist, L.K. Jha, as its member, presented a very horrific report. The first Brand report raised the question, are we to leave our successor a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscape and ailing environment, impoverished distress to make poor? In the report of commission warned us by asking a question that are we leaving a burnt and scorched landscape for our coming generation? It is a question which compels us to confess our guilt and to pledge for the protection of the earth. That's all for today, dear students. Thanks. Tomorrow we will be meeting with the next part of the chapter. I hope you definitely would have enjoyed this English to English explanation today. Once again, thanks.